What is the craziest way you guys found out that somebody was cheating on you?
Okay, so I've made like 3 of these already, but I guess I've been cheated on a lot. So, his cousin and his cousin's girlfriend came over to my apartment and stayed the night, and then in the morning they left. And of course, we're all drinking, and so the next day she was messaging my boyfriend. His cousin's girlfriend was messaging my boyfriend, and he was still logged in on my phone. So I was pretending to be him, and I'm like, what's up? And she's like, oh, can we talk, just you and me? And I was like, pretending to be him, sure. And she's like, I just wanted to know, I thought you loved Mimi. I'm Mimi. And I put, I do. And she's like, well, then why did you have sex with me last night when everyone was sleeping? Yeah.
What is the craziest way you guys found out that somebody was cheating on you?
So my ex and I were like already on like some pretty rocky terms. And basically we were supposed to hang out this day and I hadn't heard anything from him all day. So I texted his mom because I was super close to this family. I said, hey, like I'm gonna come over, like I'll see you guys soon. And she's like, oh my God, like I'm so excited to see you. He has a friend over right now, but they should be gone soon. I was like, oh, just probably the boys playing video games, whatever. That was not the case. So I get there, I say hi to his mom, I say hi to his sister, and they're like, oh, like his friend's still over, but just go upstairs and like knock, like that's fine. I was like, okay. I walk in and he's sleeping with another girl. Icing on the cake is this girl I was told not to worry about because they had a snap streak and they had been talking for like weeks on end. He's like, just a friend from school. I was like, okay, whatever. The only thing I said in that moment was, ew, it had to be this one. And that's on having trust issues now.
What is the craziest way you guys found out that somebody was cheating on you?
I was seeing this guy and we had gotten into a fight and I wanted to make it up to him. So I bought him a single flower and I went to his house and his light was on, but he wasn't answering his phone and there's no doorbell down on street level. He lived above a business. And so I was throwing stones at his window. I was missing and missing. It was so high up. And then finally one of his roommates came down and saw me and was like, oh, Zach, yeah, just go on up. He's up in his room. So I went up and the roommate had left the front door unlocked and I went up and I went up. And as I was getting closer, I just felt this like energy. I just knew something was up. I open up the bedroom door and he's riding a dude and he looks at me and and his jaw just dropped. Oh my God. It was too good.
What is the craziest way you guys found out that somebody was cheating on you?
Okay, so I'm at work one night and I get a text from one of my classmates that says, hey, did you and your boyfriend break up? And I'm like, no, like we're still living together. We've been together 3 years. As far as I know, we're good. I'm just at work. And she's like, well, he's at the bar right now and he's been dancing with this stripper all night. And then he just took her home. And I did take a video of her getting into his truck just in case you two were still dating and you want to see who it was. And we're in like a really small town. So I'm like, yeah, send it to me because one of my best friends is a stripper and she knows all of the strippers in this town and will be able to identify her easily. It was my best friend.
What is the craziest way you guys found out that somebody was cheating on you?
I was working my 4th shift at a brand new job I had just gotten because my fiance and I had moved to his hometown to be closer to his family, which was halfway across the country from my family. My best friend calls me, and this is my best friend that our mothers have been friends so long that they were pregnant with us together. Like, we were raised as sisters, we're a couple of weeks apart in age, raised with like family. I ignore the call because I was at work. Eventually she calls me again and then her husband calls me, and that's when I started to get worried because she was pregnant and I thought maybe something could be wrong. Then her husband proceeds to tell me about the naked pictures that he found that my fiance and his wife were sending back and forth. My fiance and I were both in their wedding.
What is the craziest way you guys found out that somebody was cheating on you?
Oh, this is a good one. When I was about 19 years old, I was dating a girl who was also 19, and we had been dating for 2 or 3 years and decided to get an apartment together. So we move into this apartment, and she's adamant she's going to be the only one on the lease. It's fine with me. We're not married. We shouldn't have a joint lease anyway. I get home from work, one day and I see her dad's best friend, who's about 57 years old, leaving our apartment. And I asked her why he was there. She said he was just dropping something off for her dad. Oh, that's fine. Didn't think anything of it until I came across the lease and realized the apartment was in his name and he was paying for this lease so that he could fuck my girlfriend. Because he couldn't fuck his best friend's daughter at his best friend's house. So he paid for her to get an apartment to fuck my girlfriend.
What is the craziest way you guys found out that somebody was cheating on you? So preface.
So the craziest way that I found out somebody was cheating on me, and granted this was my ex-husband, was when I came home at about, I think it was like 2 a.m. And usually I would work a little bit later at work, but this day I had gotten off just a slight bit earlier. And I came home and I put out the trash can, and then I came walking in, and it was weird because he had like looked out the window and then dipped. And usually he would come out and say, hey, oh, you're home. Well, he went into the back room, and I came into the house to find some girl's purse and shoes in the middle of my living room. And apparently she was in the bathroom. So he came out of the back room whenever I walked in the house, and he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, who's here? And he goes, oh, it's just Kara, my friend. She's just cutting my hair. And I was like, which hair? Your pubic hair? Are you kidding me?
What is the craziest way you guys found out that somebody was cheating on you?
My first serious girlfriend cheated on me. My second serious girlfriend that I was engaged to cheated on me. Found out they cheated the exact same way. The crazy part is my second girlfriend, my fiance, knew about how I found out my first girlfriend cheated, and still I caught her the same exact way. If y'all don't know, your text messages link to your iPad from your Apple account. So when you're out texting and hoeing around, your iPad's at home, I know what you're doing, bitch. I know what you're doing. And that's how I found out that they both cheated on me. And the second girl kind of had a heads up because she knew about it. And I still caught her ass the same way. Something funny though, I knew the password to her Apple ID, so I gave her back her iPad, but then linked her Apple ID to my iPhone, so I still saw all her text messages, even though she didn't think I did anymore.
What is the craziest way you guys found out that somebody was cheating on you?
On today's episode of Men Are Trash, I was dating a guy pretty seriously for 6 months, and we were long distance. And yes, we were monogamous, or so I thought. Might be important to mention, but he was in the Marine Corps, and as I've discovered as a woman in the Marine Corps myself, now a veteran, a lot of those motherfuckers are trash. So I flew in from Arizona to North Carolina to have a romantic, nice little weekend together. We ate dinner, we laughed, we had fun, we had sex. It was great, I thought. And then I went home. So I'm on the plane ride home, and I kind of noticed that things are starting to get a little itchy down there. Like I've never experienced before. And that shit starts to get worse and worse. Like my coochie was on fire. I knew something was wrong, so I went to the doctor. Sure enough, the doctor comes out and she's like, hey. And she was like, you have chlamydia, my dear. And I was like, what the fuck? Because I'd only been with one dude. So sure enough, I confronted the motherfucker. And of course, that dumbass denied it. He lied to the wrong bitch. Cheated on me with 7 other women.
What is the craziest way you guys found out that somebody was cheating on you?
I was at a party where I didn't know a lot of the people there. I met this really, really nice couple, this guy and this girl, and we just started talking about our lives. My boyfriend and I were long distance. The girl asked me why I was at the party alone, and I was like, oh, my boyfriend lives in another state right now. We started talking about my boyfriend at the time, and I showed him pictures. Come to find out, the guy I had just met was actually going to visit that state and the same city. About a week later, I get a Snapchat. This guy was like, my friends and I, we were about to go clubbing, and we were checking Snap Map to see, like, which clubs were popping. You can view stories on like the Snap Map, and he sent me a screenshot. He was like, it's probably not him, but it looks a lot like your boyfriend. He was like, I don't want to be alarming. I know I just met you, like, but I'm gonna go check it out. He shows up. My boyfriend had brought another girl to the club, and like the guy I had just met sent me a picture of it. Like you could see his tattoo. He still denies it's him, but he has a custom tattoo. Like it was him.
What is the craziest way you guys found out that somebody was cheating on you? So preface, my hair was slightly longer than this, lighter, and a little bit more orangey when this happened. About 2 or 3 years ago, I was dating this guy. I started noticing that his responses to our conversations were not really making sense, as in he was sending me text messages that he was supposed to be sending somebody else. I called him out on it, and he was like, babe, oh, I'm random, whatever. Then fast forward, he comes over to my house wearing a hoodie that I had never seen before, So when I went to give him a hug, I noticed a very long, hot pink synthetic hair. Oh, babe, I don't know. Blech. Anyways, fast forward to like February, whenever it was, I get a DM from a girl on Facebook that I've never seen before in my life, with a screenshot of their conversation arguing about me and a picture of him and another bitch saying, "Is this your man too?" What is the craziest way you guys found out that somebody was cheating on you?
So this was my 30-year-old ex-husband 2.5 years ago. What happened was that he was drunk in the kitchen at around 2 in the morning. I was in the room. I came up from behind him and seen him trying to call somebody on Messenger. I snatched the phone from him, ran to the room, locked myself in there. He couldn't catch up to me because of how drunk he was. I started looking through a conversation of a person I did not recognize. When I seen a picture that she had sent him, my heart dropped. It was his 16-year-old boss's daughter. And she was also somebody I considered as a friend, because at that time I was going to the gym a lot and she wanted me to train her because she was a little overweight, and her mom was my friend also. I immediately reached out to her and asked her about what I had just found on his phone, and she did admit to me that they had had a relationship for 2 years now. He ended up falling asleep on the couch. I stayed up all night thinking what I was going to do. At 8 in the morning, I called the police and they came and woke him up and arrested him.
What is the craziest way you guys found out that somebody was cheating on you?
Oh, do I have a good one for this? So my high school boyfriend and I dated for almost 4 years. And after high school, I went to college. He joined the Air Force. We made it work because we scheduled certain times of the day to chat with each other, either phone calls or through AIM. This is 2001, 2002-ish time frame, so there was no FaceTime or anything like that. Then one day, I get a phone call from a Texas number. He was stationed in Texas at the time. And I thought it was him calling from the office, because he would randomly do that when he knew that I had like finals or something, and just to be cute and tell me he loves me or good luck or whatever kind of thing. But this wasn't him. It was a random woman. She proceeds to ask me, "Can I ask who you are? Because I've noticed your number comes up on my husband's phone bill every day for a certain time." That's right, ladies and gentlemen. You heard that correctly. His wife. He married some random chick that he met at a bar during basic training, and they had been married for a year before I found out. All right, I'll try to do it in 60 seconds, so here's my story time. So after the first initial realization of, wait, why is this woman calling me? And what did she just say? We chatted for a little bit because I was like, what the fuck? And realized we had met before. That's right. We met each other at one point in time at his graduation, and one other weekend when he had come out, he had told her that I was his crazy ex-girlfriend that stalked him. Oh, honey. Yep. I even had a promise ring from him saying that he would be faithful while he was in the Air Force, while I was at college, and then we would get married after college because I didn't want to get married before college. Kind of think I lucked out on that one. The real kicker on the whole thing? His mother knew that he was married to somebody else, and she never said anything to me, but then had the audacity to be mad at me when I did finally say, nope, I'm done, this is over, and like blame me for breaking her son's heart. And that's where I learned where he got his crazy from.
What is the craziest way you guys found out that somebody was cheating?
My husband left for a work trip, and then when he left, I was pregnant. And then like a week or two in, I lost the pregnancy. And then a week after that, he called me and said, I never wanted a family. I'll try and see Bear, our son. And I guess I was just in shock because I was like, oh, okay. And then towards the end of the trip comes along, and I'm like, where is he? Because when I left the house, I cleared it out. Like, I took everything. So, like, I knew he would come back and be like, where the fuck's my shit? But he never asked. So I was like, where are you? And I contacted him, and it turns out he was living in Arizona. Well, he came back from the trip, never came back to San Diego, went to Arizona, and now lives with a woman and her child. And they're very happy. Yeah.
What is the craziest way you guys found out that somebody was cheating on you?
Not crazy per se, but sure as shit was dumb. So when I was a freshman, I dated a sophomore, and at my school, the 8th graders and the freshmen were in the junior high, and then like the sophomores through seniors were actually in the high school. So even though I was in high school, I wasn't in the high school. This is relevant. So we like dated for like a month or two. It wasn't very serious, but like for me as a child, I was like, woo! So fast forward, I am now a junior in high school, and I'm sitting there, I'm talking with a senior, and she and I are just like chatting. We'd never really spoken before. And we're just sitting here talking, and we discovered we dated the same guy. And I was like, oh my God, I dated him my freshman year, yada, 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 way back when. And she was like, oh yeah, I dated him my sophomore year. And we kind of like looked at each other and we started putting two and two together. So I found out that I was cheated on for the entirety of my relationship 2 years after the fact. I found him in the hall the next day. I was like, oi, fucker, come here.
What's the most inappropriate thing a therapist has ever said to you?
It's more of what she did than what she said. This lady forces me to come out to my transphobic father as trans in front of her, leading to my father calling me gross and he say that he'd rather me be a lesbian than trans. And then here I am fucking having a mental breakdown while my therapist is forcing me to talk to my father about things I don't want to talk to him about. Yeah, that led to me not going to her anymore.
What's an opinion you have that might piss some people off?
If you are like consistently late and make it a part of your personality, like, oh, you should know that I'm always late, you're rude, you're selfish, and all you're doing is telling everyone else that you don't give a shit about their time. And the only person that matters is you. Grow up.